I'm a bird, mother. I'm a bird.
Okay. VTubers views plummet after another Twitch bot Crackdown. Twitch is literally screwing over a lot of streamers, and there's like more and more reports of like their lurkers not even being counted as actual humans. I don't like the whole thing of telling your lurkers that they have to be active in chat, because that's kind of negates the purpose of being a lurker.
Okay, so it seems that there's been a big problem over at Twitch recently, and this is to do with a lot of the view botting stuff that we've been talking about on this channel recently, and it's now starting to affect a lot of VTubers as well. Now, recently Tectone actually put out this video talking about this situation with the kind of wider streaming community and just Twitch in general, and it seems like a lot of people have been hit with, you know, viewer reductions.
Yeah.
And this is mainly due to a large amount of botting that has been going on over on Twitch, which has been a big problem on the site for many years. Now, obviously, there are many different caveats which we will go into how, you know, obviously Twitch isn't implementing it fully correctly, and a lot of VTubers are not happy about that.
And by the way, you will see like contradicting information on that. Some people it affected them, some people it didn't. For example, mine and Zen's numbers actually did go higher than they used to be, but at the same time, it's like our first year of doing like regular content and being content creators, right? So for us, it's actually the opposite. We are getting more Twitch views these days than we had like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So for us, this is not really applicable. But when you look at like the bigger content creators, the reality is you can view bot other people's streams. Like even if you like feel like you're helping them by view botting their numbers, like to cushion it up, I wonder if it has anything to do. There are people who are view botting for others to up their numbers so they grow faster. I'm not saying the streamers are doing that, but like their audiences.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that has anything to do with it. This is just a theory.
At all. And also, you know, some VTubers are, you know, actually losing a lot of viewers, including a lot of the big VTubers.
The streamers who are self-botting or are being botted by sponsors are the ones hurting themselves. It was even like a whole controversy with gacha streamers. Specific gacha games were view botting their own partnered streamers. It was like a whole gacha community controversy happening. So it is a common practice.
Which obviously, you know, is a big well, it's not a big problem. I think that honestly it's a good thing that a lot of these fake kind of bots are being taken away, but I do have a big problem whenever it comes to a lot of the real viewers that are also being caught in the crossfire and also being taken away, which is affecting mainly smaller streamers, because that's what it is affecting. It's affecting smaller streamers. Big streamers, yes, you know, they might go from like 5,000 viewers to like 4,000, maybe 3,500, but at the end of the day, you know, it's really not that big of a deal unless they, you know, dramatically drop down to into like.
This is why I wanted to watch this video, because for me and Zen it's different. Our numbers went up, not down.
The hundreds or something like that, then obviously then it becomes a really big deal. But whenever you're a smaller streamer, say around 50 to 20 viewers maybe, and then you drop and it, you know, it drops by half, maybe even, you know, by 3/4, then obviously then it starts to become a big problem for you, because you just lost most of.
Actually, so sometimes I do try to lurk through like streamers and like check out like other people's VTuber models and stuff like that. I did see instances where there was like 10 different chatters in the chat of a small content creator, but it was showing like they had only 3 viewers. That was weird. So it does mean like the Twitch side, the way they're like even counting heads was borked.
Your kind of viewer base, and it can feel pretty terrible as a, you know, new VTuber or new creator even in general to kind of see that happening. And obviously there's been many people also talking about this, including XQC, who has put out a tweet saying Twitter's cracked down on bots in 2 to 3 days, and view botters slash victims of view botting have been exposed. Streamers are part of groups slash orgs are seemingly being botted much more heavily. I don't want to start witch hunts, but this data is interesting. Go see for yourself. And as
we ourselves know a few streamers whose people who run like their collective are view botting them. We ourselves know a couple of those, which by the way, we're not affiliated with them, we just know them.
you can see here, you know, he shares obviously a lot of not VTubers, a lot of creators and streamers dropping in views dramatically. And there was many cases, which also Tectone went through in this video, including people like Mizkif and stuff, dropping from about 20,000 viewers to around about 6,000 viewers, which is pretty insane. You know, people saying, I've been thinking why orgs bot heavily. Then the answer seemed almost obvious. Talent agencies need a percentage from ad streams. Their talent does. By inflating their streamers, they can still sell massive ad packs.
It all comes down to the thing I was explaining some time back, where the content doesn't define your value, the number defines your value. And the higher the number, the more numbers you attract back. Okay, so you could have the same quality of content with 15 viewers and the same quality of content with 3,000 viewers, but the only thing that has value is the number, not the content. We already talked about, like, for example, there are like people who will buff their numbers by, let's say, like 20 to 50 viewers, right? Which in the end helps them, because someone will see like, okay, this person has like 80, 100 viewers. I haven't heard of them before. Let me go check it out. Like they're attracted to the number. Same as people get uninterested in a content creator when they have a lower number. So it's like people also putting a value of a person synonymous with the number. So it's like a cycle why like people view bot as well.
Packages in bulk and take in the much higher sums. To put it simply, fraud. So yeah, obviously SQC is kind of referring to OTK there, who obviously bought a lot of their talent. They say this doesn't seem like a problem for most people, but it is the silent killer. It kills the industry as a whole. It lowers discoverability for smaller streamers significantly and cuts down their income if they ever make it at all, which is true. I think that obviously it sucks that a lot of people are getting caught in the crossfire and a lot of smaller streamers are losing some viewers, but at the same time it does also help smaller streamers in the sense that all of these people that are buying bots and are in a position that they can just buy bots.
As long as those small streamers aren't only streaming on Twitch and not doing any cross promotion on other platforms, because I've seen small content creators stream like maybe 3 times a week and then complain that they're not growing, but they're not doing anything else. They're not making videos, they're not making shorts, they're not interacting on Twitter. They don't do anything besides switch on the stream. Like as long as we're not talking about those content creators, because I think they shouldn't even be in the equation of being allowed to complain that they're not growing or the numbers are going down. You get back as much as you like put out. I was attracted to the fact you were shit talking, which was hilarious. Okay, I'm trying to control my potty mouth a little bit these days. Well, starting today. I'm trying to control my potty mouth.
For the rest of their career, they're not so able to do that anymore, but obviously, you know, bot companies find a way around it, so we're probably going to still see you know, many people that bot in the space. So I did some digging and found and shared some findings and found some egregious instances of streamers going from 100 viewers to 5,000 overnight. Obviously this is one of them. As you can see, they've got 5,000 you know, peak viewers, and they've only gotten like 0 to 1 follower to 5 followers. Which is absolutely insane. It said this post slash thread will go nowhere, no one will care either, but I didn't post about it. I'd be mad at myself. At least I didn't try to raise some form of awareness about it before it's too late. I'm going to bed in a few days. People be calling me schizo over this, but yeah, obviously I think it's a very fair enough you know, tweet, and obviously yeah, it's been,
I mean, the most damning evidence of this is that it started happening right after the whole thing changed, right? So right after Twitch announced that they're rolling this out, that's when the change happened in people's numbers. If he would have done all these like posts without these changes happening, yeah, it would have came off as a schizo post. But it being such a close timing is, yeah, obvious. And by the way, it's the same thing happening on YouTube. If you guys haven't noticed, like, go check out the small content creators you watch and check how their numbers are doing compared to a month ago or 2 months ago. YouTube rolled out the same thing. No, well, not the same thing. They're not going after bots. But basically what YouTube did, they put in a tier system for your viewers. So you go from no value to medium value to high value viewer. And depending on how many high value viewers watch you, that's when your videos will start getting recommended to others. But if you constantly have a retention of new viewers who are low value viewers according to YouTube, that means like they will not push your content as far or even register the views. It's very messed up what these platforms are doing.
A big problem that has been going on at the moment. But also, I went through and had a look at some of the top VTubers in the space, literally just looking through Twitch's top streamers and just like clicking on any.
Pirate Software is still at top. No, it's number 402. Never mind. I was so confused.
VTuber. We got Iron Mouse, obviously. Now, obviously, I think it is important to kind of also realize that a lot of these, VTubers are coming off the back of something. Maybe, obviously, as we know, Iron Mouse has been involved in a lot of kind of stuff recently, so her viewership is going to be inflated because a lot of people are going over to see.
Yeah, with everything that Iron Mouse went through, with like the VTuber agency taking her money, scamming a charity, not Iron Mouse, the company scamming the charity, like all of this, yes, her numbers would be like at a higher end because a tragedy happened, then the whole community came together to help her to gather money for the charity, and back to back her new debut, so her numbers would be actually skyrocketing right now.
How she is and what's going on. So again, obviously, I don't think IMAS is the best example for this, but as you can see, she is kind of dropping a little bit in average viewers. The same with Zentreya, dropping a little bit. And yeah.
Okay, these two are not the best examples because again, Iron Mouse just went through the hype, so her numbers were pushed up. So now it's like a natural progression of it settling down again. As for Zentreya, she recently was in like the VTuber drama for telling her friend who she can be friends and who she cannot be friends with. So I think these would be not the best examples.
Henya, sorry, well, I don't know what that. Henya, as you can see, it went down by a little bit as well, and also we've got Megalodon here, which has also gone down.
She's a good example.
So obviously, it is very, very small changes. It's nothing like drastic. I think that's what a lot of people kind of forget as well. That it is a kind of like small change. It's nothing, huge. But obviously that small change becomes a lot bigger whenever it comes to smaller streamers as well. But yeah, I mean, there are many reasons as well. This isn't to kind of,
Wait, I was super curious what Rosie was saying. Will you be reading it or not? Okay, it doesn't seem like he's gonna be reading it. I'm very curious what Rosie is saying. I think I may know what the new Twitch bot is targeting. There's a lot of possibilities, but I actually think it's not counting people with ad blockers on Twitch who aren't subbed and checks for it every time and an ad break happens. Okay, that's fair. No, that's a fair assumption. If you're wondering why some people are affected more than others, that would be why. Most ad blocks people use are on PC and not mobile. So the more mobile regular users you have, the less the bot change will affect you in most cases. By the way, this would heavily apply to YouTube too, because I noticed the videos who were more watched on mobile or tablet, they would get more recommended than people who watched it on PC. That is absolutely a fair theory from her. And it applies both ways, Twitch and YouTube. The amount of PC users per streamer who use the ad blocker can vary a lot, but I can give you a general rule of thumb that could help as a rough estimate. On Twitch dashboard, look at your percent of users on mobile versus PC. Take the PC percentage and figure out a rough number that is of your CCV overall. 100 CCV, 50% PC user, 50 users. This number is how many people would be affected at the maximum if every person on PC was using ad block. So your change in viewership, since Twitch bot dropped, would be around 50 people not counted or less. If true, everyone will be affected differently. So if you are a streamer more affected, it's not because you did anything wrong that made it occur. Okay, like I said, like her theory is 100% fair and valid.
There are many reasons as well. This isn't to kind of obviously call out any VTubers. Obviously, I don't think IMS is had any of these problems, but I've seen many VTubers in the space, some of the top VTubers, for example, take some sponsors, especially with gacha games and things, and you know, there was a specific point in time, and even Tecto mentions this in his video. There's a specific point in time which I believe was the 21st of August, and essentially, yeah, like there was a moment where the viewbots, the viewbot like detection system kind of kicked in, and it like for some reason it just decided to hit everybody at the same time, and obviously I guess that's just because they decided to do it then. But essentially we saw a big dip in people's viewership go down, because obviously for some people, as you know, like this screen here, this is just an example of the screen that I'm trying to show you, like maybe someone would have like 12k on one day here, and then it'll go down to, yeah, like 9k, 8k, whatever on the next day, right? But you know, there's some people that were streaming mid-bot kind of, I guess, you know, whenever they were destroying a lot of the bots, right? And you could see the graph actually physically drop on the stream itself, which is very interesting, because obviously there's two kind of sides to that, and Tectone also shows that on his stream as well whenever looking at some other accounts. I don't know if he shows it on the actual video, but he did go through a couple of accounts that are essentially doing that, and you can see there's a very significant drop in views, and you can even see with Miskiff there's a big drop in views here as well. But again,
whoa, wait, that's a huge drop though. Holy. Did he change categories or something? Like,
yeah, he dove down. What the heck?
yeah, holy.
obviously there's many people also experiencing that too, and I saw that happen with a couple of VTubers. Now, is it to say that these VTubers are botting and that they're, you know, the worst people on earth and things like that? No. And obviously that is why I'm not mentioning any of the streamers' names that were doing the sponsored things and got a big dip in their viewership on the actual you know, sponsorship themselves. It was none of these streamers that are here. These are literally just some of the top you know, VTubers that I just pulled up on Twitch tracker. But there were some other VTubers that did drop significantly in views midway through a sponsored segment, and yeah, that was mainly due to the fact that a lot of gacha games and a lot of similar sponsors like this like to bot their streamers whenever they're doing it live, whether
as
the
already
streamer themselves
explain about the whole gotcha botting situation that happened.
knows about it.
I think Tectone has quite a few videos on it, since he was part of the gotcha community.
Or
Oh,
doesn't
he
know
probably has a lot of information.
Oh yeah, he does.
about it, and that's why I didn't want to you know, say any of their names or anything, because obviously it's a problem whenever some people don't know whether, you know, they've done it with intent and they've, you know, purposely gone out and view botted their stream to, you know, give you the illusion that they've got more viewers. But also you do have the case of other companies, fans, things like that, that are also botting, and also some people just do it for fun, and sometimes there's just bots about on Twitch as well, which just kind of circulate around in these websites. So again, any of these streamers that you see having a big dip, I think it's not exactly the safest thing to exactly assume that they have been botting and assume that they have been purposefully doing any of this.
Don't accuse a content creator of view botting, because view botting someone else against their knowledge or will is more than possible. It doesn't mean at all that the content creator is even aware of it.
Kind of stuff, because they haven't. Like 9 times out of 10 I would say they haven't. Now obviously whenever it comes to a lot of the you know, as we saw like Mizkif and OTK and stuff, that's totally, you know, it seems like it was kind of, you know, they planned that, they worked with OTK to get with like view bots and things to a lot of their talents accounts. So again, obviously that was,
I actually didn't know that OTK did that too, but at the same time I'm also not really surprised. There have also been proven cases of malicious view botting based on Tectone's video yesterday. Yeah, me and Zen were victims of malicious view botting a few times, on Twitch. So each time we would just stop the stream.
YouTubers, at least from what I've seen on Twitch tracker, it seems to be around the time that they're doing an advert for some kind of game or whatever. That seems to be the point when the viewership goes up. So obviously it is a little bit suspicious, but at the same time, again, many companies just do that. Many games companies, if they're sponsoring you, will artificially boost your viewership due to this. But obviously, you know, it can look extremely suspicious whenever, you know, obviously those bots get hit midway through stream, when it's not actually you botting it, it's not the streamer botting it, it's people from the outside. And as I said, there's many other people with many other reasons as to why they would bot a streamer. So again, as I said, it's one of these things where there shouldn't exactly be a witch hunt for all of these people. Now, obviously, if there is like undeniable proof that they have been botting themselves and they go out and admit the fact that that is happening, then obviously, yeah, sure, go ahead, you can criticize them. But I think for now, we've got to be a little bit careful when it comes to any kind of streamer or VTuber in general that obviously has a little bit of a dodgy kind of analytics chart. Now, obviously, you know, as we look at some of these on Twitch Tracker, you can actually go and look up at your favorite VTuber or to stream or whatever. Again, this is just an example. iMouse's looks pretty normal.
Yeah.
I'd say like these little kind of bits here is a little bit suspicious. But at the same time, again, there is many fluctuations of people wanting to bot people, and even like Tectone said in his video, there's some people that like to just bot like innocent people just for fun. You know, there was a situation he said where essentially Canute, you know, like the big gym streamer, he was just streaming one day, and some dude on 4chan was just like, oh, I'm just gonna go bot him because I feel like it, you know.
Yeah, and the worst malicious view botting is the one where they view bot with a followership thing, right? So it's like the bot follow spamming you to a point where your stream crashes.
Yep.
So they usually do that, so basically just to be like little assholes and crash your stream.
You know, I'm just gonna go give him a couple of views, which
For people who are wondering why would that even crash your stream, it's from the backlog and overwhelming like push in notifications. It's just it just ends up overloading like OBS and stuff.
Yeah.
obviously, you know, that can also happen. So there's many people out there that do that kind of stuff, and as you can see here, you know, this is a pretty usual kind of you know, view count. And obviously it jumped up quite a bit during like just chatting, but obviously as well you gotta like factor in raids and things. So that could also be a raid, like going from 8k to 12k. That is probably a raid in my you know, as far as I know, because obviously you can see it goes here and then it slowly goes down a little bit, and that's usually how you can tell the difference between a raid and a bot. A bot would usually go straight up, and then it would literally just go, you know, it would maintain mostly throughout the entire time. And obviously some bots are more kind of, I guess, evasive in the fact that some of them pretend to drop off and stuff over time, so you can't tell as easily. But as you can see, I think even with this one as well, yeah, you know, you can see it suddenly jump up, which is probably going to be the raid, and then you can see people slowly leaving and then going back to normal again. And the same with that probably, and the same with that. So again, obviously there's many reasons as to why a view count can be jumpy, and I think that is the case for Iron Mouse and some of these other streamers here as well. But it is definitely a fact that some viewers have been missing, you know, whether that's to do with obviously as well the other factor being that real viewers are also being taken out of the picture for not interacting, which obviously is something that a lot of people don't talk about either. It's the fact that, yeah, there's some people who lurk and some people who...
That means that just means like their detection code is borked, because that means they programmed it in a way where if someone doesn't interact, they just assume it's a bot. That means it's just sloppy work, and like worked where someone didn't use their brain. That there are people who genuinely just lurk,
who don't interact maybe in the chat, but that obviously means that then Twitch doesn't count their view sometimes, which is causing a lot of these VTubers and a lot of these creators to lose viewership as well, which also sucks. So yeah,
it created the whole thing where, okay, so the lurkers aren't counted anymore, so the VTubers started telling their lurkers they have to comment and interact. So the lurkers then got mad at the VTubers demanding for them to interact, and so they left watching that VTuber, or I mean VTubers. Because the lurkers, they usually just want to chill and sit back, right? While they play games or do something else.
Yeah.
Demanding for your lurkers to interact, don't do that. And like, absolutely don't force your lurkers to interact. Like, we have quite a few lurkers. They don't interact, but they'll drop their support and their, like, here and there to, like, support us. But all they want to do is, like, they want to pull up the stream, kick back, play their games, or cook or clean, and just like chill. They're not here to talk and chat. They're here to be entertained and for you to be their background sound while they go about their business.
Yeah, yeah. Fly high. Check it. Spread my wings high, reach the sky. Feathers in the wind, never asking why. I'm a bird, motherfucker, I'm a bird. Soaring high, yeah, that's the word. Flying free like you never heard.